Welcome, everybody, to California Speedway, race 2 of 25 in the Winstel Cup Series season. From the high banks to Daytona, it's the sunshine of Metro LA. We're bringing you more racing tonight here for the Winstel Cup Series. 43 cars on track tonight, 52 attempted to qualify, 9 failing to make the field. They're trimmed down to that 43 car grid. Fastest car in practice belonging to that of the defending champion Christian Budd. What can he do here in qualifying as everything gets underway? For those tuning into ABN, welcome to the show here on Sunday evening. I'm Carmen, Sienna, alongside me in the production portion of the booth, Anity Pulsatrix, to get things underway here tonight. Capping off a very busy week here on ABN over the last 7 days. Qualifying underway at the moment. Car center of your screen, that is the 22 car center of your screen at the moment. That is Jacob Potak in the Caterpillar Ford, or Caterpillar Dodge, excuse me. Everyone kind of coming off the highs and the lows of Daytona. We'll see what the 22 car can do. See bottom of your screen, he's got a win from last season in Darlington. Started last week. Was not quite the best effort. Everything falling apart at the end there in Daytona. Everyone on their flying laps here. Everyone's got to cram the laps in here within the next 5 minutes. Timer taking down 3 minutes 30 and change. We know how good Jacob can be in these cars. You see him sawing at the wheel out of turn 4. These are very loose race cars, as they were in Daytona, but a little bit faster. No restrictor plates here at Auto Club. Cross the line. Enough right now for second place, but a lot of times they're going to be filing in quickly as the 43 car field gets themselves ready to go here today. Here is the 29, Jose Solis Jr. 14 career wins. You see that at the bottom of the screen. He is 10th. Sorry, 10 wins in the modern era. He is in the top 5 in terms of career wins in Winstel. Still looking for a championship, though. That's one thing that's been empty in the hardware case, the trophy case for Jose Solis Jr. Across the line, he comes here in California, Fontana, a place that makes a lot of sense to Jose Solis Jr., and he goes up to the front row. It is Larry Pace on provisional pole. As more times cycle in, Jose Solis Jr. hoping to have a front row start. There is the 77. I believe coming across the line to finish a lap, it is Austin Reedy, only 25th fastest at the moment. I believe he tagged the wall on his runs. I believe this is an invalid run. This is the 2 car of Evan Locke. Really slideways out of turn 4. Not going to help him. Rookie of the year. Moving to Team Penske. I believe he was just starting his lap time here. That is the case. So now he's on a run. Everyone trying to flirt with the outside wall as close as you can without actually touching it. That is the critical part. That is the tricky part around this 2-mile circuit. They are extremely quick right now. 200 miles an hour going into turn 3 for Evan Locke. Gets right down to the white line. Drifts all the way up through the racetrack using all 5 lanes of tarmac to try to find the grip in this race car. 3,400 pounds, 750 horsepower. And he goes 18th fastest. Not have a lot of cars left to go here. This is the 55 Corey Steinhauser, running now in the year 1 Chevrolet Monte Carlo. One of those that flew under the radar in Daytona last weekend. Coming across, he needs to have at least 41 seconds on the clock when he cuts across start finish line. It's going to be close. I don't think he's going to make it. I think he's going to be just short. He needs to have a pole time, basically. 40.028 is the time set by Larry Pace. Steinhauser has never been on pole position. Very tedious, very cautious through turns 1 and 2. Did not feel comfortable being up in the outside lane like that. And I think he knows he's not going to have much of a time to do anything. And because he's not going to have that time set, and he just tagged the wall, so he definitely won't, it's going to be 43 cars. And Corey Steinhauser, the 55, will be the last of those 43. All right, so here's the qualifying results. Larry Pace, Jose Solis Jr., they are the front row here in Fontana. Jacob Potak and Joshua Chen, they are row 2. Tyler Head and Brandon McKissick, row 3. A big time notice there for Tyler Head. Did not make Daytona in a part-time effort now. Went from the 4 to the 44, but still showing the pace in that part-time entry. Emily Howe and Jeremy Davis in row number 4. And Gabriel Mauricio and Ryan Doucette sit in row 5. Doucette making his first race of the season. Dylan Roberts and Chris Champeau, row 6. Ryan Andrew and Alex Chilcutt in row number 7. Christian Budd and the debutant Jordan DeRuby in row 8. Nick Doucette and Sean Peleg in row 9. Evan Luck and Jonathan Hernandez, row 10. That's the top half of the field here for the starting grid. Brandon Coppinger, one of the unsung, I guess, question marks from Daytona, drove around in a very skewed race car, hoping to have a much straightforward race car here today. He starts 21st alongside Andrew Griesbaum. The UPS truck in row 12 is Christina Ryan alongside Mike Rasmus, 2 veterans of the Winstel circuit. Starting further down the order, Alex Bates in the Silver Bullet, number 40 machine in row 13 alongside Matt Sisler. Then you have the Daytona 500 winner, Brennan McGee from last weekend on row 14 alongside Evan Mellinson. Ryan Hill in the number 7 alongside Tom Willett. Willett made his debut at the Winstel 400 back in January. He starts row 15 ahead of Tyler Murray and Anthony Krobach, who make up row number 16. Row 17 is Kirk Marble and Kyle Benson, a couple veterans in the Winstel circuit. Marble for the Roush Racing team, Kyle Benson for Robert Yates Racing. Corey Cook in the 31 alongside Steve Brown. They make up row 18 on the grid. Austin Reedy and Craig Lautenslager, row 19. The last of those that set lap times here today. Parker Alexander, the Budweiser number 8, near the back of the field in row 20 alongside Philip Snipes. Both of them not having the races they were looking for at Daytona. Will have to work to get the results they need today. TJ Crampton and Brandon Cruz, as they were in Daytona, they are today back in the field in row number 21. Ahead of Corey Steinhauser, who will round out this 43-car field. 9 cars failed to qualify for this event. You're going to see a lot of people struggling to make their way in. Those that were top 35 in points last season were locked in to the first 4 races of this season. So you're going to see the same group of drivers trying to make their way into the field all the way until we get past Bristol in a couple weeks' time. Larry Pace doing what he did at the end of last season, finding pace and qualifying, getting himself at the front of the field. Let's see what he can do here in Fontana. He got a race win in Atlanta last season, near the end of the season.
Hang on, we're not going green, not going green.
So we'll get ready to go racing. 2 laps of formation. Everyone gets a chance to get these tires up to temperature. We know how important those tire temps can be. You also don't want to overheat them either. 9 for Larry Pace. From the 98 to the 09. One of the many drivers that took a different ride going into this season, alongside one of the veterans that have been in that 29 car for quite a long time at this point, Jose Solis Jr. Solis looking to kickstart his season with a race win early on. And these tracks where it's wide open and there's a bunch of different lanes to choose from typically plays in Jose Solis Jr.'s favor. We'll see if that's the case here tonight as well. 2 miles is a length around this California Speedway, 50 laps, so 100 miles for this race distance. It's going to be very interesting to see who can manage things here. 2 pit stops expected in this race, as it was at Daytona. So let's see what we can do here in California. In race 2 of 25 in the Winstel Cup Series season, it is the Auto Club 500 in Fontana. Welcome everyone to watching Avian Studios here on Twitch for the Winstel Cup Series season. You'll be able to watch the Winstel Cup Series season, the VRR GT World Tour season, Avian Champ Car World Series action, and more, all right here on Twitch through 2025. Lights on the face car are off, which means we are 1 lap away from going green here in Fontana. Some keys to the race as we get ready to get warmed up and racing here for 50 laps. Tires. Manage those tires to a dot. If you put those tires early, you'll drop back. It is not hard to pass here at Auto Club Speedway. Outside lane is the easiest lane for a period of time. However, if you're not a master of it, it's never going to be kind to you. That outside wall comes up quickly. These cars are loose by default. They are loose at the start, and it takes some time to get them going. They're 3,400-pound race cars, 750 horsepower, but the tires are the dictating fashion here. You got 2 pit stops, make them count. Each stop's a money stop here. And this is a tricky pit lane to come down off of when you're going 200 miles an hour going into turn 3. You've got to get a load up to 50 miles an hour to get down to pace car speed. We saw a lot of speeding penalties in Daytona. We'll see even more here tonight. The drivers, they know that already. It's time for them to execute. The pace car will take the hard left onto pit lane. It is Larry Pace and Jose Solis Jr. at the front of the field. The green flag is in the air, and we are racing at California Speedway. The Auto Club 500 is underway. Let's get to it. Larry Pace leads lap 1. All 43 cars keeping it pointed straight forward. Everyone getting down to business here at a fan favorite and a driver favorite track here at Auto Club Speedway. All 5 lanes of tarmac being used by these 43 behemoths. And car spun! Emily Howe being spun by the 5. That was Gabriel Mauricio that Emily Howe spun off the nose of, and it is Bedlam further behind. That's Peleg, the 48. Multiple cars involved. The 40 also got a piece of it as well. So trouble early on here in Fontana. We got to lap 2, and 2 of the veterans, 2 of the more experienced drivers, Emily Howe and Gabriel Mauricio, tangling together and triggering a multi-car crash here. And here's a replay of this incident. Again, keep an eye on the 15 and the 5. Mauricio and Emily Howe, they worked together in Daytona. They were trying to work to get around Tyler Head and the 4 of Jeremy Davis. And Emily Howe just drifts up the racetrack and then tries to avoid cutting off Jeremy Davis, and it looks like just came down the racetrack. See if we can get a view from the Goodyear blimp here. A little bit zoomed out here. See if we can zoom in. Got a pretty decent beat up from high above, thanks to Goodyear. As they come right towards the Goodyear blimp, actually, really good run. Yeah, Emily Howe just gets loose, drifts up, and tries to correct to avoid turning the 4. Emily Howe actually ends up being the safest of the bunch. Mauricio ends up turning towards the outside wall, and that's where he collects more of the field in that 5 car. This is on board with the 17, Christian Budd, the defending champion. Or with him, again, the 5 and the 15 just up the road. He's going to have a pretty close near miss, I think. Nope, he's going to be right in it. Oh, he gets almost flipped up and over. That is Christian Poe that got into him and almost sent the defending champion for a ride. There's the 40, and then there's the 43. Ooh, and that's where it just gets worse and worse and worse. Lautenschlager gets a piece of it. That's Steve Brown in the 43. Just... That's where you see ping-ponging just become the word of the day on board with Steve Brown. Currently right now in dead last after having to take some repairs. He had to take emergency service as well. His car just really struggling. He is further back in the field. You begin to see the smoke up ahead. He slows up a little bit. Slows up, slows up, slows up, slows up, slows up. Thinks he's clear, thinks he's clear. Nope. Oh, and then the double hit there for Lautenschlager, obviously not going to help either. You can tell by the wobbly there for Steve Brown that he was just not in a great spot. And a lot of work needs to be done for the 43 car. Front of the field, though, looks pretty much intact. It's Pace, Solis, Potak, Chen, McKissick, Head, and Davis, your top 7. Then it changes up with Ryan Doucette, Ryan Andrew, and Alex Choka. That is your top 10 at the moment. Nick Doucette and Christina Ryan just outside the top 10, 11th and 12th for them. Dylan Roberts, Gabriel Mauricio. Mauricio, despite the damage, was classified 14th. He's not going to be 14th anymore due to having to come down pit lane. He's going to come back down pit lane for more repairs. He is definitely feeling the struggle from that right now. Christian Budd's car completely torn up. Lights are out on the pace car, so a single file restart is in order. As is tradition here in the Winstel Cup Series. Anytime we have a double file restart, it means that lap cars are on the inside lane. It is Larry Pace looking for his second career Winstel win. He has led all of the first 5 laps in this race. Riding on board right now with Brandon McKissick, the Texaco Havoline, number 42. Sitting right now in the top 5. Started this race in row 3, has moved up 1 spot. Hoping to make that even better. He got around Tyler Head on the outside lane there in the opening laps. The pace car is in. The green flag is back out. Let's go racing once again after our first caution of the race. "42 cars on the racetrack. Steve Brown still trying to get some repair work done, hoping for more chaos and bedlam here in Fontana. Pace has a mirror full of that GM Goodrich 29. Of Solis, you have Jacob Potak in the 22. Just behind as well, looking a little further back. This is McKissick. Right now, battling just up the road. I believe that's Ryan Doucette that he's battling with right now. No, it's not, excuse me. That is Joshua Chen, the 93, the all-black machine. This is Jeremy Davis riding on board with the number 4 machine, which experienced championship glory 2 seasons ago, with the driver that he's getting ready to pass right now, Tyler Head in the 44, that Kellogg's 44. The Hendrick Motorsports prep machine. Jeremy Davis driving to the underneath side of, trying to get back into the top 5. Right now, McKissick in 4th, Joshua Chen in 5th. Davis 6th, Tyler Head in 7th. And then keep your eye just a little bit further back. That is the 33 of Ryan Andrew, trying to bring his Richard Childress racing car up to the front. There's the doubles, there's the 0 car, Alex Choka, the net 0, number 0. Also in the top 10 now, getting around the 13 of Ryan Dissett. There's 7 of Ryan Hill. Christina Ryan dropping a spot on the restart to Chilcutt, who has been on the charge. As they all come out of turn 4 once more. Solis up near the wall. Larry Pace preferring the inside lane, preferring the white line. So far, it's helping the 9 car out quite significantly. We'll see how the tires ebb and flow as this race progresses. So far, the 09 looking confident, looking poised, leading the field out of 2. And it is a 3-car breakaway. McKissick trying to get back and join his fellow Dodge and Potak and making this a 4-car fight. Solis to the outside, Pace to the inside once again, as they were last lap. Pace just has way better drive out of turn 4 than Solis does. Solis just not quite hooked up. He's got momentum though. Going to try to hit the inside away from Pace. Pace gives him it. And they'll battle into turns 1 and 2 with Pace now on the outside lane. It seems like the inside is just the place to be right now. We'll see if Pace can answer the Jose Solis Jr. question. Out of 2, still side by side. As they are side by side, Josh Chin alongside the former champion. I think Josh Chin's going to be a pretty exceptional talent. He is in the right places right now as he was last week in Daytona. I think he's going to fit in just fine as a rookie. Already working with the champions of the series and some of these veterans that have got multiple race wins. Tyler Head on the outside, very far outside lane. They were 3 wide with Alex Chilcutt making his way closer and closer to this top fight. On board with the 93. As he tries to hold on to the top 10 at the moment, being passed by some cars that did not qualify as well. Only had 1 lap for qualifying, so if you don't get that lap pretty well sorted out, you're kind of in trouble. Indeed, that was where Chilcutt was for a period of time. He is now up into the 7th spot. A little further back, side-by-side racing. This is Tyler Murray in the 33, Christina Ryan in the 88, and Ryan Dissett in the number 13 car. A lot of experience between those 3 drivers. And I said that was Tyler Murray. It is not. That is Ryan Andrew, another one of our rookies. But he's still got a lot of experience outside of the Winstel scene. Christina Ryan, the former ABN Open Wheel World Champion, off of a podium at Homestead in that series on Wednesday, trying to clip into the top 10. Right now battling with an eNASCAR driver, pro-licensed Ryan Dissett in the 13. Talk about confidence boosting right there, battling side by side with Dissett. Christina Ryan has had many battles with Dissett through her Winstel career, battling with Ryan Andrew, who's got a pretty hefty rear view mirror full of these 2 drivers, and then Ryan Hill not far behind in that Haraz number 7. I said Haraz, it's Harris. Force a habit. Christina Ryan, though, using some lessons that she has learned from her time, slid ahead of Dissett, but got over-undered, and will end up still in the same position. You saw cars coming down pit lane a little bit early. We are on lap 14. I feel like that's a little bit early for a pit stop. Don't believe that was scheduled. And caution's out. Further down the order. And it is, trying to gather to see who that would have been. That is the 41 of TJ Crampton. And he's got a lot of smoke billowing from that 41 Dodge. And that's a significant amount of damage. That is 2 Dodges affected so far in early cautions here. 43, the Petty Enterprises 43 of Steve Brown, and the Chip Ganassi Racing 41, the target car of TJ Crampton. This is a replay on your screen. He is battling with Brandon Cruz. Side by side. I wonder if Cruz got a piece of this or not. No, it looks like he just gets loose on his own, and he gets loose early trying to save it. Really good avoidance there by Champeau. I don't think everyone's going to be so lucky. No, not so lucky for everyone. Looks like that might have been Andrew Griesbaum. I'm not so certain, though. Yeah, it looks like it would have been the 49, the BAM Racing 49 of Andrew Griesbaum, who was trying to avoid the 41. So a lot of damage repairs needed for Crampton. This is on board with Griesbaum. The Swans, number 49, who's making his way down pit lane. A lot of the field coming down pit lane now as well for their first pit stops. He tries to avoid. He sees the 41. I don't blame him for trying. I don't blame him for trying. You see the 41 rolling back up the hill, and you have the chance to try to make that avoidance. I don't blame him for trying it. Yeah, you can see there with the 49 at Griesbaum, he was having to read that on the fly. Can't say I blame him on that. TJ Crampton's race is effectively over. Pit stop's underway now as we watch the race down pit lane. And it is going to be, oh wow, what a launch out of the pit box for the 22 of Potak. I believe the 22 beat Larry Pace out of pit lane. So a huge jump in positions there. Potak was third going in and will lead coming out. The first lead change happening under pit stops. And it is the 22 for Bill Davis Racing that now leads the way to Caterpillar Dodge. Ahead of the 09, the Phoenix Racing 09. Soliston third. Looks like Brandon McKissick in fourth. McKissick was was fifth going in pit lane, so got ahead of Jeremy Davis. Just browsing and perusing, Tyler Head also ahead, so Jeremy Davis lost a couple of spots there on pit lane from fourth to sixth. And you see that run of cars on the bottom of your screen. Chilcutt, Chin, Nick Doucette, and Ryan Andrew round out your top 10. Ryan Doucette just outside the top 10 in 11th. Tyler Murray, the 07, the Jack Daniels car in 12th. Christina Ryan staying at 13th ahead of Ryan Hill. Brandon Coppinger having a way better race so far here in Fontana, sitting 15th ahead of Parker Alexander. Keep an eye on him. He started this race in the 39th position. He's already up to 16th. Emily Howell recovering from that lap 2 spin up to 21st now, ahead of Sean Peleg and Anthony Krobach. Austin Reedy in 24th, Corey Cook in 25th. Then it is, you see some cars shuffling around here. Dylan Roberts, Brandon McGee in 27th. So some cars sort of sprinkled throughout the field here. 2 cars down and out, and they're both Dodges. The 43 of Steve Brown and the 41 of TJ Crampton. The 2 victims of today's event so far. The lights are out on the Ford Mustang pace car. So Jacob Potak will lead us to green to kick off lap number 18. On board with Jeremy Davis. No slouch to victory lane on his own. 5-career Winstel wins. They have not been in the last 3 years, though. So he's got some work to do. Positive news for him. He's in the top 10% of the field. As we get ready to go back racing, green flag waiting. The pace car in pit lane as they approach the start finish line. Here we go. Green flag flies once again. Let's go. Here in Fontana one more time, and Larry Pace wasting no time. He knows he's faster than the 22. It was the 29 that was giving him efforts. Larry Pace wasting no time. They're going to be side by side at 2. Keep an eye on the 42 of McKissick. 44 of Tyler Head there trying to get ahead of Jose Solis Jr. That failed. And Potak just ships it right through turns 3 and 4. Clean air is an amazing equalizer early on in a run. Solis up near the wall, trying to find his way around the 09 once again. We know what this is like, though. The inside lane prevails in turns 1 and 2. 22 gets his free choice of lane, being clear of the entire field so far. Larry Pace almost clear of the 29. Not quite, though. As they go all rage down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Now things change. Caution's out again, further back in the field. Car spun. 31 is backwards here. Not a great time for the 31 car of Corey Cook. Corey Cook spun around backwards. It seems like a single car incident, all things be told. So it seems like it's relatively harmless compared to the last 2 cautions we've had here. And it looks like it is Corey Cook off the nose of Brendan McGee. We'll get a replay here in just a second. But it seems like Brendan McGee putting his hand up as being the one that turned the 31. A 9, a McGee down on the white line. I have a feeling he's going to drift up the racetrack a little bit, and it's going to be a lot of it for McGee. Yeah, he tries to squeeze in front of Chris Champeau, not being clear of the 31. Pretty self-explanatory there. So McGee turns the 31 and will restart this race at the back of the field. As is tradition in Winstel, cause an accident, start at the back of the field. Another look here from the 9 of McGee, the Daytona 500 winner, who is having a little bit more difficulties. This is on Doucette, who had a really good view of the battle there at the front of the field, but this is Brendan McGee, the Mountain Dew number 9. They were behind the 77. Boston Reedy. And you're going to see, he's going to see the 31. He's going to think the 31's clear here. Corey Cook just not quite clear. Misjudged that just a little bit. Thankfully, no significant damage to either the 9 or the 31. They can continue without any major repairs. And they will both start at the back of the field together. And it gives Jose Solis Jr. a chance to breathe. He got ahead of Larry Pace and the caution came out. So now he'll have a pretty straightforward fight with the 22 car, the Dodge of Jacob Potak, to try to get to the front of the field once more. If you're a fan of the long run racing, you're not really getting that right now. Some cars that have struggled on the start-stop sequence. You've got the 88 of Christina Ryan, who's really struggled at the moment. You've got the number 11, Anthony Krobach. He has struggled. He's down in 23rd at the moment. He lost 2 spots on that restart. Dylan Roberts lost 4 spots from 21st to 26th. Or from 25th, excuse me. So, some drivers not a huge fan of the start-stop motion that we've seen between the 2nd and the 3rd cautions of the day. While we're under caution here, we do get a chance to sort of shout out some stuff going on in the Winstel community as everything gets ready to go. Beginning here very soon, obviously we have the new iRacing update coming up this week. Coming this Wednesday. With it comes the new gen ARCA cars. The 4th tier of American stock car racing. Winstel will be doing a mini-series on Thursday nights. Given everything goes well with that release on Wednesday, it'd be a 6-race mini-series on Thursday nights. You can join the Winstel server, the Winstel community. Even if you can't race on Sundays, there may be something for you here on Thursday nights coming up here in the next few weeks. Super competitive community. Everyone excited for the new ARCA cars. We have the revised, the remodeled Gen 4s coming in the summertime. Coming in July. It is the 22, the 29, the 09, the top 3, as it has been the entire race so far. It is Potak, Solis, and Pace. Inverted from where they started. Solis still right in the middle. All 3 have led laps so far today. is the 22 that leads the way. On board Jeremy Davis in 6th. Looking at the driver that used to drive the number 4, Tyler Head in 5th, just up ahead of him here. Green flag flies once more. 3rd restart of the day, and Tyler Head wasting no time challenging McKissick. Nose time is of the essence with how things are going so far. Solis, quick to the attack on the 22. Goes to the outside wall, has to back out of it though, washes out tight. And it's going to allow both the 09 and the 44 to challenge on the dispatch there. They are 3 wide, almost 4 wide. They will be 4 wide, further behind. That is the 25, Jonathan Hernandez, sitting at 3 wide. That was with Christina Ryan, Parker Alexander, and Brandon Coppinger. Christina Ryan struggling on this restart as well. Once again, has not been her strong suit. Hernandez didn't really gain a whole lot out of that either. Christina ultimately staying in the 15th position. That's where she restarted this restart. Front of the field is still it's still Jacob Potak ahead now of Larry Pace. Solis held off Tyler Head. And here comes Alex Chilcutt, the Net Zero car, challenging McKissick. As they come out of turn 4. A lot more polite, a lot more demure at the front of the field compared to at the back of it. Back of the field, it is absolute bedlam as everyone shuffles through and deals with the boatloads of dirty air, the slipstream, the draft. So many ways you can talk about the turbulence here in these cars. Tyler Head unable to make any headway, challenging Solis for 3rd. Christina Ryan now trying to make her way forward. Further back the order is kind of looking at some of these cars trying to charge forward once again. Chilcutt did a really good job charging forward. Not so much that time. Sideways and in the wall. Scaring the 4 of Jeremy Davis and the 24 of Nick Doucette. As they go into turns 1 and 2 now. Turn 4, a trouble spot. The wind is going to play havoc all race long. It's not something we focused on because it's not a heavy wind. It's only a mile, 2 miles an hour, but these cars, 3,400 pounds, 750 horsepower, no restrictor plates, very wind sensitive, very air sensitive. Chilcutt battling with Doucette. Right now for the 7th spot. Chilcutt has the advantage off turn 4 down the front straightaway. Gonna try to clear and will do so. Did not race at Daytona. Has raced minimal starts in Winstel competition since he is now still a Rookie of the Year contender. So far doing a pretty good job right now in 7th place, but it is a pretty heavy group of rookies up at the front of the field. You got Chilcutt in 7th, Ryan Andrew in 9th, Joshua Chen top 10. And Chen actually got really tight in 3 and 4, had to drift it up the racetrack. Both him and Ryan Andrew struggling, and they have fallen out of the top 10 just like that. Christina Ryan back up to 13th place. Watching the rookie struggle a little bit more here. Ryan Doucette also gaining. There's Ryan Andrew, the 33. He was really sideways just up the road. Keep an eye on him. Turn 4 becoming a trouble spot for everyone further down the order. This is on board with the 13 of Ryan Doucette. eNASCAR Pro licensed driver. Started this race in 10th, has not left this area of the pack so far today. Battling right now with the 2nd highest rookie in the field. Chilcutt leading the rookies here today. Ryan Andrew, though, 2nd best. Not a bad effort. He was a phenomenal drive at Daytona last week. As they race out of turn 2. Still 41 cars rolling around the racetrack. Christian Budd, the only one significantly off the pace after his car was completely junked on lap 2 here in Fontana. He is already a half lap behind in his very damaged USG sheetrock number 17. The other 39, the other 40 cars all together. And now sitting your screen, Ryan Hill inside the top 10 by a position. That is Parker Alexander from 39th to 10th. Trying to get his way forward in that Budweiser Chevrolet. That was a championship contender last year. Trying to become a championship contender once again. Alexander missed the mark with Hendrick last year. Moving to Dale Earnhardt Incorporated for 2005. Christina Ryan, middle 3 wide. Doucette on the inside. Andrew on the outside. And they're going to be 3 wide going into turn number 1. Doucette backs out of it. So Christina Ryan making her way forward up to 11th now. Trying to follow the 8 car, the Budweiser number 8. Up the field here, Ryan Andrew really loose out of 2. Tries to use momentum to get around the 88. See if that works for the 33. Christina Ryan, no stranger to success here in Fontana. Has clinched championship gold here before. Actually has received championship gold here twice before for the VRR IndyCar Series and the ABN Champ Car World Series. So she's got very fond memories here of Fontana. At the front of the field, Jose Solis Jr. trying to do exactly what Ryan Andrew did to Christina Ryan a lap ago, and that is use the inside lane in 3 and 4 to try to take the lead of this race. It's a little bit different at the front, though, because the 22 is going to have an amazing run through the middle of 3 and 4. And the momentum off of turn 4 in the outside lane to try to out-drag race the 29, and didn't do so. Solis led that lap by 6 milliseconds. So Solis found the way to put the power down, but now he's going to try to do the same thing in 1 and 2 while also dealing with Larry Pace. See the lap speed difference is 5 miles an hour slower compared to his fastest lap. They are almost 3 wide, battling for this race lead. Kozak goes to the inside lane. Solis goes up to the wall. Larry Pace and McKissick, they stay on the white line. And it's just not quite working out for Solis on that outside lane. He is trying all his might to get around the 22. Dodge versus Chevrolet at the front of the field here in Fontana. And is that way throughout the entire top 6 that have broken away from Nick Doucette and company. On board the 42 of McKissick, the Texaco Javelin on board. Started this race in row 3. He's made up 2 spots up to 4th. Really fun race so far. We have gotten to 16 laps to go. We had 3 cautions in the first half of this race. It's been caution-free since. That means that there's green flag pit stops coming for the field here imminently. Staying true to the 2-stop strategy. A lot of the field came down under that 3rd caution around lap 20. Means they are going to come down one more time under green if we stay green for the remaining 15 laps and change. We're coming to 15 laps to go. Down the order here, still 3 wide, almost 4 wide. This Emily Howell really struggling to stay ahead of the 04 of Darube, the 25 of Hernandez. Some cars coming down pit lane. That's what's made it so sketchy. Some cars coming down pit lane, including some of those at the front of the field. Tyler Head, Alex Chilcutt, Christina Ryan, Ryan Hill, Ryan Doucette, Ryan Andrew, all down pit lane. Sean Peleg and Gabriel Mauricio all down pit lane. The 04 of Jordan Barube, one of those that came down. He's been a very under talked about rookie. Potak comes down pit lane. It leaves Solis at the front of the field with McKissick in tow. And I believe that is the 09 of Larry Pace. It is the 09 of Larry Pace also staying out. So those top 3 trying to overcut trying to avoid the traffic that is pit lane. They are going to be slower. But if they can make up that time by having a clear pit lane, it could be worth it. Hernandez, Chen, Davis, Howell, they're all coming down pit lane. I don't believe with the lane that Jose Solis is running, he's not coming down pit lane. No, he's not. Larry Pace is, though. And more will come down behind the 09 of Pace as cars leave pit lane. No matter where you are, if you pit early, he will go a lap down. That's just the risk that you run this early in the contest. You just got to let it all shake out. The undercut, there is a risk, there is a benefit to that. You have fresher tires for longer and a chance to really make it up here. The 22 of Potek and the 44 of Head, they are really close together, and they will be battling for the race lead as the 29 and the 42 come down pit lane this time. So the race leader's in. And a really close pit entry for the 29 of Solis. Coming in hot. McKissick a lot more organized in the 42. Dylan Roberts also coming down pit lane. Brennan McGee, your Daytona 500 winner, staying out once more. He will stay out and he will get those bonus points for leading a lap. 5 bonus points for leading a lap. Entered as the points leader. Will likely not be points leader leaving today based on where he's been all race long. But every point counts. He did make the chase last season for Ray Abraham Motorsports. He's going to try to do so again. Right now, he's going to lead another lap, staying out again. He's ahead of Jordan Barube, the 04, who's trying to get his lap back and will do so. The debutant on the outside lane, I'm going to see him fly by on the right side of your screen as we ride on board with the Mountain Dew, number 9. There he goes. 04 up and away, and here comes Silver Bullet behind him, the number 40 of Alex Bates. Silver Bullet going around the outside, as will Brandon Cruz, the 9 car, coming down pit lane now. Brendan McGee getting his couple laps in. Evan Locke will now inherit the race lead, the number 2 for Team Penske. Now out front. It's kind of been a 1-car effort for the Team Penske team, and he is going to have a full benefit. Caution has come out for the 4th time today. Oh my goodness. And it looks like it is Nick Doucette that's got a huge amount of damage on the front of that car. Car 24, Ryan Andrew, the 33, reporting that he's been a part of it as well, the 33 car. It looks like the 33 and the 24 came together in some way, shape, or form. You see the damage on the left front of the 24. We'll get a replay here in just a moment, but with less than 10 laps to go, that changes a lot. Evan Locke leading the way ahead of Matt Sisler and Andrew Griesbaum. They had not come down pit lane. Here's your replay. This is the 25 of Hernandez, who actually clips the 25 of Hernandez, and that's where Doucette gets his damage. So 2 Hendrick cars coming together off of the nose of one of the Richard Childress racing cars. Ryan Andrew, teammates with Jose Solis Jr., the 29 and the 33, and the 31 of Corey Cook. 24, the 25, the 48, and the 5 teammates there for Hendrick Motorsports. This is Hernandez. We're looking at the moment. I'd love to see if we have an onboard there of the rookie of Ryan Andrew to see how close he was. I'm actually going to rotate and look back. A 360 camera on the roof of the 25 GMAC Insurance Chevrolet. I think Ryan Andrews just going to drift up the racetrack a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. Doesn't look like significant contact. It just, when you have cars that are so aero sensitive as these cars can be here, it doesn't take much. It looks like the 24 ends up the worse for wear. The 33 got away with that pretty well scot-free. The 24, not so much. As cars come down pit lane, Evan Locke will make his pit stop here, and there'll be a decent amount of cars down pit lane. Back in live picture here as some of these cars come down pit lane, including those that had yet to make a pit stop. It will make Jose Solis Jr. the race leader over Jacob Potak, Alex Chilcutt, Larry Pace, and Ryan Hill. All the cars in front of the 29 will get the wave around. They are cars that were behind the two Evan Locke, but had already made their pit stop. They were trying to get their lap back. They will be waved around to rejoin the back of the field when we get ready to go back racing. Those wave around cars include the 31, the 66, the 38, the 99, the 07. All of them needing wave arounds here. As we get ready to go back racing here in a couple laps, they're going to go ahead and wave the field around. We've got about a lap and change left before we go back racing for our fourth restart of the night. It is Jose Solis Jr. as we go through the field. He's in first place, started this race on the front row. He's been in the top 5 all race long. And here you go, your top 5 in pictures. Solis, Potak, Chilcutt, Pace, and Hill. Your top 5. McKissick, Peleg, Mauricio, Davis, and Howell. Your top 10, Roberts, Doucette. Nick Doucette, Brandon Cruz, Brandon McGee, and Tyler Head. Your top 15. Evan Locke, Matt Sisler, Andrew Griesbaum, Parker Alexander, and Ryan Doucette. Your top 20. As we just browse and peruse through the field, everyone getting their pictures taken, basically, for this overlay. Joshua Chen, Christina Ryan, Anthony Krobach, Chris Champeau, and Alex Bates, top 25. Looking at your top 30, Austin Reedy, Jonathan Hernandez, Philip Snipes, Jordan Barube, and Tom Willett, your top 30. Kirk Marble, Evan Mellinson, Corey Cook, Ryan Andrew, and Brandon Coppinger, your top 35, top 30, excuse me. Craig Lautenslugger, Ryan Andrew, he's serving an EOL for causing that last caution, so he's moving backwards in the field. So we're seeing everyone move up one. Craig Lautenslugger, Tyler Murray, Corey Steinhauser, going to be a lap down here, so he's going to stay 39th. Christian Butt also a lap down in the 41st position. And then you got 2 retirements there with Steve Brown and TJ Crampton. Steve Brown, actually, interestingly enough, is back on the racetrack. So we only have 1 retirement so far. Steve Brown, the number 43. There he is, right there on your screen. Single file restarts with less than 10 laps to go. So let's get to it. Coming to 6 laps to go at the line. The green flag flies. Let's go racing once again. Everyone has now made their bed. Do we get to the finish under regulation? We're going to find out. 4 wide. We're riding on board with the middle of it. The 09 Larry Pace, McKissick, Chilcutt, Pace, and Ryan Hill. 4 wide still out of 2. That is for 3rd. McKissick's got it. That was a wild restart. They went 4 wide in a hurry. It is still everyone chasing down Jacob Potak, who got a really good jump on that restart to get the lead away from Jose Solis Jr. Trouble. Car in the fence. That was Sean Peleg. The 48, the low Chevrolet, in the fence. And losing spots left, right, and center. Already out of the top 10, trying to regather behind the 15 Emily Howard ahead of his teammate Nick Doucette as they exit turn 2. And Solis is down to 4th. He's lost 3 spots in 2 laps. Potak, McKissick, and Pace, your top 3. Coming to 4 laps to go, 8 miles left in the Auto Club's 500.
Caution, yellow
And caution's out. Huge crash out of 4. Huge crash out of 4. Multiple cars involved in this. That is Hernandez involved. That is 38 of Kyle Benson involved. The 11 of Krobach. off near the pit entry, trying to avoid going down pit lane. He'll do so. 55 of Lautenslager, the 49 of Griesbaum, all involved. And we're going to have a point of no return restart coming up here. Sean Pellig upset with the 0 of Chilcutt, claiming that Chilcutt pushed him into the wall, and that's why the 48 ended up losing all those spots. So we're going to rack it up and try again. So to explain Winstel rules here for all of those tuning in, point of no return, there is one green, white, checkered restart queued up for the field if we need it. We're going to need it. That one restart, there's no cautions after that. It finishes under green for those final 2 laps. Whatever happens will be reviewed post-race. Point of no return is just simply, that's the last caution you can get. There's no chance to re-rack after that. And wherever you line up, wherever you end up is sort of just wherever you finish at this point. It can cause chaos. It can cause pandemonium. Typically, more often than not, pretty good racing ends up coming out of that. This is a look here at the start of the race. We're going to be looking here. I think we're looking further back in the order, down towards where the 25 of Jonathan Hernandez was, because he was a huge part of this. Several cars involved in this. Mike Rasmus, it looks like, was involved in this as well. See if we can get a replay. Here we go. This is going to be, this because it's coming out of turn 4. We're going to get the full lead up into this incident. 49 of Griesbaum, the 11 of Crowback, the 18 of Champeau. And I think this is going to be, yep, the 18, the 49 make contact. And around they go. Champeau was really leaning on the 49 there out of turn 4. 16 of Marble gets a piece of it as well. Feels like the 04 is out of this race officially. This is on board the 18 of Chris Champeau we're looking at right now. 49 up ahead. There's Champeau's teammate Crowback, the 11, the FedEx Express car. You see Champeau down to the white line and just can't stick it. And just leans right on the 49 and stays leaning on him. And just nothing that Griesbaum can do. And Champeau, for his efforts, also ends up getting really hammered. Oh, really lucky to not have been completely destroyed by the 66 of Coppinger. Got away with that one largely unscathed, outside of some rear damage on that car. Just tried sticking on the white line. Cold tires on that restart, just not giving any grip. This is on board the 16 of Kirk Marble, posted on board. He gets spun around sideways pretty quickly as well. We're going to see pretty quickly. Nowhere for Marble to go in that one. You're pretty well committed to the lane you're on the outside of turn 4. Yeah, Marble wearing the battle scars of that decision. And we're going to look at the 43 of Steve Brown, the last replay we're going to show here because we are getting ready to go back racing. Steve Brown, he's going to have a pretty good run of getting through this unscathed. 14 laps down, so unfortunately this is not going to help him too awful much, with the accidents happening just a little bit outside of his window to be able to gain many more positions. But it will help him out significantly. Here is Alex Chilcutt, the 0 car, the net 0 car. Restarting this race in 5th. It's Potak, McKissick, Pace, Solis, Chilcutt, Davis, Hill, Howell, Mauricio, and Roberts, your top 10. How are they going to finish here in California? We're back underway. Final restart. Everyone chasing down the 22. The inside lane is Pace. And he's going to drive all the way up to the front, challenging the 22. McKissick had no answer for that. He's just trying to hold on. 2 laps to settle it. The 22 controlling both lanes. He's going to have to do that for another 2 miles or so out of turn 4. Here they come to the white flag. Caution not coming out. White flag is in the air. This is it. And it looks like, oh, the race was over. They actually finished it there. My apologies. I was expecting a green-white checker to finish. They shortened the caution. And they hadn't indicated that to us, so that is Jacob Potak with the 1-lap dash to the finish. That was wild. We don't typically see, whoa. What was that? That is the 44 of Tyler Head. Was that Tyler Head and Jose Solis? We'll grab a replay of that. That is not normal. According to the attenuator is. That's just Winstel shenanigans. I think that is Joshua Chin. But that's not typically normal there. Jacob Potak is your race winner, the 22. Grabbing a race win for Bill Davis Racing in the 22, a 1-lap Duke. Or 1-lap Duke it out fight for the race win. And the 22 holds on to survive that. McKissick and Larry Pace finish top 3. And I'm just trying to gather what happened here with Tyler Head. It's all very strange and surreal as Potak does the celebration here. Just wild stuff. That is Tyler Head and Brandon McKissick were the 2 cars involved in that. So I would have to wonder, obviously this is coming out of the, so this is that was to the checkered flag. That was what we just watched there. And keep an eye on the 44, he's gonna run down, I thought it was Solis. It's not Solis, because Solis is right ahead of him and he drives past Solis out of 2. He's chasing down the 42 on McKissick, and I'm not sure why. So something has to have happened in this race for Tyler Head to try to chase down McKissick and do this. We don't normally see that, especially from a former champion. So I really would like to see what the reasoning is for that one, because that was very abnormal for Tyler Head. While we look at that, we will go ahead and start doing interviews here. All 3 drivers ready to go. Larry Pace, 3rd, Brandon McKissick in 2nd, Jacob Potak in the race, winning position here today. I will go ahead and talk while we look to see if we can discover what happened with McKissick and Tyler Head. We're going to go ahead and talk to the Pulsator, Larry Pace, who finished 3rd in today's race. Larry, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
Loud and clear.
That was a wild race for the 09 car. A fantastic job. Pole position once again. You got the qualifying pace mastered from the 98 to the 09. Seems to be really good there. Race pace, very consistent. Constantly in that lead fight. Walk us through your race here in Fontana. That car looked pretty hooked up tonight.
Yeah, it was very fun. Setup was challenging. I basically lost the race on pit road. The lead is really valuable here. And once the 22 beat me off of pit road, I was a little conservative into my pit box and spun the tires on exit, and that was it. So I knew it was going to be a tall task to get back by him, but really just tried to have fun tonight. I'm going to run the full season, or attempt to this year, and just looking to have clean races and put top 5s and 10s together.
Obviously, a race like this obviously helps significantly given how Daytona typically can be. It puts the 09 team, the Phoenix Racing team, on the right path going into the opening stanza of this season. You talk about how challenging this race was. It seemed like passing was still a pretty tall order there. And we saw a lot of passing later on. For you, you talk about the tall order. What was so difficult about passing? You talk about cleaner being the factor. It seemed like figuring out the lane the car worked the best in was a factor there. Was there a lane in particular that made you feel the most confident here tonight, whether you were in the lead or in the dirty air?
For me, for better or worse, I really like getting down to the white line late and having a nice straight exit up to the wall. I'm not sure if it was the fastest tonight, but it was definitely the most comfortable, and it looked like it was pretty good in that last run. I don't know if some of those guys short fueled in front of me, so they're a little tight center, so it felt extra good, but there's such a lack of forward bite on exit that it was really about just not spinning the tires or getting sideways.
Obviously, we look at this race here in a nutshell. It very much this was Fontana to the tooth and nail. Everyone really duking it out here today. We have Las Vegas coming up here in just a week's time, a track that can be feast or famine. We know how wily these cars can be there as well. Are we looking at maybe having a similar result here at Las Vegas? It's a track combination that typically suits those that can kind of wrestle the car around, and that seems to be something that you're really strong at.
Yeah, I'm going to try to win them all. I mean, at the end of the day, clean finishes are what I want, but I'm going to try to win them all. Mile and a halfs are kind of my wheelhouse with this car, and I find when it's fun to drive, I do a little better just because I'm enjoying the process. Short tracks are a bit of a struggle for me with this car, so I've got to work on that. So I'm going to make hay while the sun shines on mile and a halfs and mile tracks, and yeah, go into next week hoping to sit on the pole and actually win it.
Well, we know how good the 09 machine can be. We saw you with the race win in Atlanta last season as well, so we know it's possible. Before we let you go and let you get ready for Vegas coming up here very soon, if there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, the floor is yours. Congratulations on your first podium as part of the 09 team this season. Yeah,
thank you very much. No one to shout out, just good job everybody at Winstel. I'm really excited for this season. Our race was relatively clean, and thank you guys for doing the broadcast. Can't wait to watch it back.
Absolutely. Larry Pace, P3 finish after starting on pole position and getting a fair share of laps led here in Fontana. We'll see him again in Vegas to try to do it all again. Thank you so much, Larry.
Thanks.
And we're going to try to pull this up here because this is going to be important. Brandon McKissick is next up on our interview list while we pull up replays here. Brandon McKissick, this is Carmen from the AVN booth. You got a copy? A wild race for you, P2 finish. The car was a rocket ship that Texaco Havoline Dodge. Obviously, a little bit of drama after the race. Walk us through your perspective of the race, though. That car just looked like it was set to be in the top 5 conversation all race long. Walk us through it for your end, though.
Yeah, so to be honest, I was actually quite rusty this race. I don't drive this car much, and the guys around me are kind of aces at it. It's their best car. It's not my best car, so I have to kind of do better if I want better results, but I tried the best I could. Like early in the race, I was going straight every time I entered a corner and would spin center exit, so I just felt really uncomfortable. But the more we kept going, each time I got a caution, I tried to learn from what would go wrong and improve my driving, and it ended up working. I would go from falling back to like 6th to moving up to even 2nd before we made the pit stops. And obviously you saw at the end of the race, when I was on slightly better tires, I was able to pass several cars in the second to last restart and gain a lot of ground. So I put myself in a really good spot to win the race for not being that great this week. So I will absolutely take 2nd for sure. I mean, I survived and got good points, and I think that's all that matters.
Obviously, elephant in the room, we saw a clip of this at the end. The 42 ends up not quite having a fun time, ended up being the wall after the checkered flag between you and Tyler Head. Not something we normally see, especially between you two. Was there anything between that? Has Tyler talked to you about anything about that, or was it just sort of a spontaneous sort of de-stress after the race?
Nah, he wasn't joking about it, but I think he was mad because I think it was after the second restart, he was racing me pretty hard, and I might have like accidentally doored him a little bit up the racetrack in turn 3. It wasn't like too bad, to be honest, because everybody was entering the corners very wide as well, so it was like a slight contact. I didn't think it was a big deal, but he's mad about it. He threatened me if I did that again, he'd put me in the wall, so I mean, he's mad about it, but honestly, it is what it is. Like, I didn't wreck him, so...
I mean, obviously, it didn't matter. It didn't mean a whole lot in the whole scheme of things. You ended up with a second place finish out of the race, so thankfully it didn't affect your results. But yeah, we just happened to notice that. It was like, that was odd and interesting because we didn't see anything at the time. Obviously, I think we got a replay of the battle you two had at some point during this race. You were around each other a lot. We wanted to bring that up. But a P2 finish for that 42 car, a fantastic effort. Those Dodgers overall just looked really strong today, with the 22 also grabbing the race win. Las Vegas coming up. Do you feel like you've got a chance to get a little bit more of a result like this, kind of getting back up to speed?
Well, I've won the last 2 straight at Las Vegas. Nobody else has won that track besides me in a while, so I definitely do think I have a shot. But being realistic about it, I need to figure this car out more in the next 7 days, because with how rusty I am at it currently, I would not be the winner of that race if it started like in 5 minutes. So definitely need to work on a few things, but if I figure it out by then, I absolutely have a pretty good shot at it, as long as I keep it clean and race smart.
It's going to be tight at the front of the field. McKissick, as he mentioned, the winner the last 2 times in Las Vegas. Next weekend should be an odds-on favorite. Everything going correctly next weekend. Before we let you go and let you work on getting ready for Vegas in 7 days, if there's anywhere in particular you want to shout and say thank you to, the floor is yours. Congratulations on the finish today, and overall just a very consistent and successful race overall.
Well, I'd like to thank Brennan and everybody on the admin team for putting on these races week in, week out. And this is our 3rd season at the Gen 4, and the turnout was really solid, so
absolutely a fantastic effort. We had 52 cars attempt to race, 43 made the field. Brandon McKissick finishing 2nd here in Fontana, heading to a track that he has dominated the last 2 years at Las Vegas in 7 days. Brandon, we look forward to being able to talk to you again a lot this season. Good luck in Las Vegas, and congratulations again on the 2nd place tonight.
appreciate it. Appreciate you guys broadcasting us.
Thank you so much. That was the 42 of Brandon McKissick talking about it with Tyler Head. Very legitimate. Some animosity between the 44 and the 42. Unfortunately, we won't be able to hear from Tyler Head's side regarding that incident here. But it seems like there was some hard racing between the 42 and the 44. As you would expect to see at the front of the field, thankfully it was all after the flag, so there were obviously the Winstel stewards will review that one on their own. It does not take away, though, from the race winner. Once again in victory lane, the 22 car this time for Bill Davis Racing. Jacob, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
I do.
What a drive. It was an absolute barn burner of a battle between you, Larry, Brandon, Jose, and everyone at the front of the field. Walk us through that fight. That was absolutely electric to watch.
Yeah, it was fun to drive it too. It was really, really tough racing. Like nobody, even when we had a full field run, nobody got away from each other, like the top 5. So that was really, really fun. And felt like I had good speed once we got like 5 to 10 laps on the tire. So I was most of the time just biding my time till then and then making the right moves.
Obviously, this was a race where a little bit of track position was needed. A pit stop got you right to the lead of the race and just put you right at the front. And then it was a matter of trying to keep it. Obviously, if you look at the images on the screen, you were battling with the 29 for a period of time for that top spot here. We heard some people saying the passing was a bit difficult here at Fontana, just with how the cars were set up here. What was your position on that? Obviously, it didn't stop you from getting to the front of the field on multiple occasions, but what was your overall sort of vibe as far as how this car raced and being able to get around traffic?
Yeah, it was really fun to race. I think like when everybody was on even tires, like first couple laps of the run, and if everybody's push and pull out, it was definitely hard to pass. But once you got the tires worn in a little bit, if you were getting better drives off the corner, you could get by somebody. So it was really, really fun once we got to that point in the run.
Obviously, it works out here. The 22 car now obviously in victory lane here. It only took 2 races this season. For you, obviously, we talked to you after your last race when you were running part-time. With the 22 car and everything going on this season, is full-time the plan? And if so, we look at Las Vegas next week. Is there another chance to get that 22 back in victory lane and cement a potential championship charge?
Yeah, definitely trying to run full-time for sure this year. It's just such a great league, and it's really, really fun racing, whether you're in 1st, 10th, or 30th. So yeah, definitely trying to run full time. And my last 2 seasons I did race Las Vegas. They did not go well, so don't know if win's going to be the goal. Might just be bring the car home, no stripes. So we'll see how it goes.
A phenomenal effort though here tonight. Race winner once again, this time in California. Before we let you go and let you celebrate fully, if there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, the floor is yours. Congratulations on an amazing run here tonight to get that to grab that race win.
Yeah, I definitely want to say thanks to Brennan and Christian for everything they do with the league, and thanks to Emily for another good setup. And I've got to thank my girlfriend. I think she's watching on the plane right after I finish this. I'm gonna go head over and pick her up, so I'll see you soon. And thanks to you guys for a great broadcast.
Not a problem. Again, Jacob Potak, congratulations on the race win. We're glad to be here, glad to watch your win here in Fontana, and see you do it all again in 7 days' time at Las Vegas. Enjoy the race win, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
A phenomenal run for Jacob Potak, a race win once again. You heard it from him himself, trying to go full-time here in 2025 to race in the Winstel Cup Series season. If so, he should 100% be a contender to make the field for the chase of the Winstel Cup. Here's the results as they stand. Jacob Potak, Brandon McKissick, Larry Pace, Holy Celeste Jr., and Emily Howe round out your top 5. Emily Howe, a great recovery driver, spinning on lap 2 to get up to the top 5. Ryan Hill, Gabriel Mauricio, Dylan Roberts, Sean Peleg, and Tyler Head round out your top 10. A phenomenal run for all of them to get around and finish on what was arguably a one-lap shootout here. Jeremy Davis, Alex Chilcup, Brennan McGee, Nick Doucette, Evan Locke, Parker Alexander, Joshua Chen, Christina Ryan, Ryan Doucette, and Brandon Cruz, your top 20. A lot of shuffling went on there in that mid-pack fight. You got to see a whole bunch of that, a bunch of incidents there on that final restart there. Cruz scraping by to get top half honors in 20th place. Matt Sisler, Austin Reedy, Philip Snipes, Evan Mellinson, Tom Willett, Alex Bates, your top 26 ahead of Brandon Coppinger, Chris Champeau, Corey Cook, and Kirk Marble. You start looking at some of the drivers that are involved in incidents here today. They were all in that group. Christian Budd, a all torn up race car from lap 2, powered it forward to 31st place. Not where he wanted to be though, all things considered. He had a top 10 car. Tyler Murray, Andrew Griesbaum, Craig Lautenslager, Jonathan Hernandez, Ryan Andrew, all of them involved in incidents today. Anthony Krobach, Corey Steinhauser, Jordan Barube, and Kyle Benson, your top 40. You start looking at some of the retirements here. Mike Rasmus, Steve Brown, and TJ Crampton among that retirement list here in Fontana. And we will see if we can grab the official point standings. We had the point standings going in, which had Brennan McGee as the points leader. We'll see if they're updated here. They are not updated yet. This is the points that were going in. Brennan McGee will not be points leader leaving Fontana. We believe it's going to be in the hands of Brandon McKissick, the 42 car who finished second here today. Emily Howe will be second in points with a consistent run. As Jose Solis Jr., they are in the top 3 as well. But this is the points that were going in. We'll get you updated points to kick off next week's stream at Las Vegas. This is the points going in. McGee, points leader, no longer here after 2 races of 25 for the Winstel Cup Series season. A phenomenal run here in California. We have a whole bunch more racing coming up here across the remainder of the month of March. No racing on Wednesday. Champ Car World Series is off on Wednesday. We do have racing on Saturday, though. We do have the BRR GT World Tour from Long Beach. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's Saturday, 2 p.m. right here on Twitch. On YouTube on Wednesday, we do have the Platinum Pilot Series on YouTube at, I think, 1:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Time change is going to mess with that a lot. Keep an eye on our socials, ABN_studios on Twitter. We will make sure we have all that information available for the Platinum Pilot Series race 3 of the season coming up here on Wednesday. It'll be Anity, Pulsatrix, and Taylor Mills in the booth for that on Wednesday. Both of them will be in the booth with Olivia Hayward on Saturday as well for the BRR Series in Long Beach. On behalf of everyone here for ABN Studios and everyone here at Fontana for the Winstel Cup Series, I'm Carmen Sienna alongside me, Anity Pulsatrix. We hope you have a fun week coming up here. We'll see you on Wednesday for the Platinum Pilot Series. We'll see you on Saturday at Long Beach for the BRR Marathon GT World Tour. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you on Wednesday. So long, everybody.